welcome back to my channel. I hope the lighting is okay. I'm filming today. I filmed a few videos and it's like a little bit dark outside, and so hopefully that you guys can see me okay. But basically I'm here today to film kind of like an advice chit chat video with you. I have my coffee here in my super cute mug that says, "Oh, what a beautiful day," and I'm just gonna sip on this with you, have a little bit of a chit chat, and just I had like a subject kind of weighing on me lately, and I wanted to just talk about it and share it because I know a lot of you guys are in a similar age group to me based on my demographics here on my channel, but some of you guys are younger and might have some questions, or even if you're not younger, this can apply at any age, and you can kind of feel lost and alone and just like confused about like what to do and where you're at. And I've been through this, and I was just kind of thinking about it recently, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just like share my thoughts on it, and hopefully that this can help someone. If you guys have been in this situation, I'm really sorry, and if you're going through it now, I'm really sorry as well. Reach out to me. I would love to like support and help in any way possible, just kind of be a friend through all of this for you guys. So let's get into this video. So this video is, like I said, an advice video, and basically it's about toxic friendships or relationships. Now I've been through quite a few friend breakups in my life. Not quite a few, but like a few like big major ones. It seems like this has mostly happened when I came to the end of something, kind of like the end of a chapter. For me, it was mostly like in school, because that's like kind of like when you change stages in your life, is when you're done elementary school or high school or university, whatever, you know. And so for me, that's when I noticed these changes, but this can happen at any point in your life where you kind of just drift apart from the people that are around you. It can be some major fight that breaks out, somebody cheats on someone, somebody starts rumors, somebody, whatever. Like there can be a major reason that like you're really hurt by something, or you really hurt someone else. You could be on either side of this equation, but it ends up hurting no matter what, because you're losing, in terms of like a friendship, let's say, you're losing somebody that has been so close to you for so long, who you shared so many years or so much time or so many important events and personal things about yourself with. And it can be just a loss in and of itself. And I think friend breakups can be as difficult as, you know, relationship breakup. They are different because there is like an element of a relationship that you will not have in a friendship necessarily. More of like that intimacy side of things. But that being said, the roles are very similar, and the feelings that you go through when this happens are, to me, pretty much the same and hurt just as much, even if it might be in different ways. And I think that like breakups in general will be unique to each person and each relationship and each friendship, and you'll feel and process things differently. And so I'm not here in any way, shape, or form to tell you what to do, what my thoughts are, but more just to like lend a leaning arm, shoulder, ear. What's that expression? I'm just here to be here for you and tell you I've been there. What I want to touch on in this video is, for me, you know, there can be major things that happen that will naturally provoke a breakup or an end in a friendship, or you to drift apart. There are things that just, people sometimes just grow apart, things that can trigger it. There are things that happen. But there are also situations, and that's more what I'm here to talk about today, where you find yourself kind of stuck in what started off as a great friendship or a great relationship. This video originally was more centered around friendships, but I came to realize that it kind of applies both to friendships and relationships. I'm going to be using the term interchangeably here because I think our relationships with other people in general are just very complex. I think that a lot of the times things can start out really great, really nurturing, really supportive, and you know, you feel like you're one person, that you're growing together, whether that be with a significant other or with a group of friends, or just with one person, one friendship, and you just feel a connection, and you feel like just so intertwined with this person, and you guys are helping each other through life, you know, getting through one step at a time, whether it be day-to-day things or bigger life events. And that's what friendships and relationships are, and that's why we are social creatures, and we crave and we need that human interaction and those relationships and friendships. And it's so important, and I'm not here to say get rid of everyone in your life, not at all, but there is such a thing that those relationships at the beginning that may seem so crucial and so nurturing and so helpful to us, which is what we grasp onto and cling onto, and that can sometimes cause us to blur the line of when that relationship crosses over into a toxic relationship or friendship side of things. And it can be hard to see the signs because this person has always been there for us, and they probably still are, you know, and there's just little things here and there where you start to be like, oh, like that didn't feel right, or that upset me, or that didn't used to happen, or things like that. Just these tiny little flags that you'll start to see going up, and you probably won't think anything of them at first because you love this person so much and you care for them so much that you make excuses for them, or you just like blow it off as if it was nothing, which a lot of the time that's what it feels like, nothing. But over time, these little things can build up and end up being a toxic friendship or a toxic relationship, whether that be a relationship with a significant other or your family even, or your group of friends. There are elements that can cause you to start feeling very unhappy, and at first you might not realize that you're unhappy in a friendship or in a relationship. You might just feel this weight on your shoulders, and you might feel kind of like weighed down and torn apart and not really sure why you're feeling so conflicted. And over time you might be able to pinpoint, you know what, like, I can't turn to this person the way I used to. I can't talk to them the way that I used to. I'm going through this huge thing and they're not there for me. You know, little things like that, that all of a sudden you're going to come to realize, where did this all go wrong? Like, where did we drift apart? Where did I lose touch with this person? Where did we stop talking? Where did we stop helping each other? You know, whatever it may be. And that may be on one person altogether, someone who went through this huge thing and kind of disappeared and pulled away from you. But most of the time, this works both ways. And a friendship or a relationship or whatever it may be, there are two people or there are more than one person in the equation, and it's an interaction, and it's a combination of what each person is putting out there that kind of either brings people closer together or tears them apart, just makes them drift apart. And so I'm not here to be saying that it's one person's fault, although for both, sometimes it may feel like it's that person's fault. Sometimes that person may feel like, I did this, it's because of me. But a lot of the time, both people will feel hurt, and it's no one's fault, really. It's kind of life that gets in the way. And I think that that's why it's so important, I would say, when you have someone you really care about, in whatever way that may be, to keep the lines of communication open and to constantly, you know, talk, be there for each other, support each other. And when something feels off, say it. Because most of the time where these things go wrong is that those little things that we notice here and there and we think, oh, it's nothing. Like you blow it off because you think nothing of it, because you've never had any issues, you've never had any confrontations. Those are the important moments that will change the course. And that's what I've learned. Like, I didn't always realize this until I got a little bit older, and I've been through a lot of friendships that didn't maybe fell apart, or friendships that grew back together. And I think that it's just, that's when you come to realize that those little things that happen, as insignificant as they may seem, you can just be like, oh hey, like I was wondering, like when this happened the other day, or when we were talking about this, like is everything okay? Like, should we, you know, talk more about it? Or is there anything like that you felt? Or I just wanted to clear the air because I don't know, for some reason that didn't feel like us, that felt weird to me. You know, something as simple as that, and not putting the blame on the other person, because that's usually where people get defensive and pull away or turn it onto you, and that's what causes fights. Just bring it up in a very casual way, and that you hopefully will prevent going to that darker side where it's kind of like an all or nothing. Are we friends, or are we just gonna like completely like just cut ties because it's not working anymore? And that's kind of where I'm going with this video, is that it can be hard to spot the signs of a toxic friendship or relationship. And it's so important that if you are not feeling happy in any of your relationships with other people in your life, that you take a step back, reevaluate, and analyze and figure out what it is that you want from each of your relationships, and pinpoint what is making you unhappy in that relationship. Like, evaluate whether there's something that can be done, whether it's time to walk away. And I'm not saying walk away from every friendship, relationship, person you have in your life when something goes wrong. Absolutely not. That's why the part before I was saying talk about it. And usually you'll see that it's like, it's the smallest, most insignificant thing. It's nothing. It's just you both took it the wrong way, or you both misspoke, or whatever it may be. But sometimes there are situations where if you are friends, because I've been there, and when you are friends with people that eventually just drain you, like your friends are supposed to recharge you, you're supposed to feel energetic and happy and excited when you guys make plans and when you do things, and you're supposed to feel rejuvenated once you've seen them. If every time you see them or you talk to them, you feel drained and you feel upset and sad or mad and you just feel like triggered in whatever way that may be a huge red flag that it's time to reevaluate what's going on and either confront them about it and be like, this is how I'm feeling. Are you feeling this space between us too? Or is there something that I did? Or is there something that we should consider moving forward? You know, talk to the other person and see where they're at as well, because this might be just you that feels it, but most of the time, if you're feeling a hostility there, it's because it's working both ways. The hardest part in this situation is when you have to make the decision to be like, I am no longer happy in this situation, and we've tried, and I've done this, and I've done that, and I've given it a chance, and I can't do this anymore. When it starts to take a toll on your sanity and your happiness and your mental health, even maybe your physical health, that's when you have to take a step back and most of the time take a step away. Does that mean you have to cut them out of your life completely? Maybe not. I've found that a lot of the time, yes, because when you're really, really close with someone, especially initially once you have that like separation, it's really hard to stay away from that person, because whether it was good at the end or not, you were so used to having that person in your life, waking up to their texts every day, or talking to them every day at school, or, you know, meeting up for coffee or to go for ice cream or whatever it may be. Like, you have your routine, and this person is a huge part of your life. You talk to them every day or almost every day. You're going to miss them. You're going to miss that interaction, and you might feel so alone, and you might feel so tempted to go right back into it. And I think that's what's hard with toxic friendships and relationships. It's like a vicious circle. It's so easy to get sucked back in, especially if you're in the ages of like high school, middle school, and it feels like the end of the world, that you're sitting alone, or that you're not in a group with this person or whatever, you know? It's so hard not to get sucked back into that, but you have to be able to stay strong and realize, I need to do this for me. There will always be other friendships, other relationships, other people you can build connections with, but your relationship with yourself at the base, and your mental health and your happiness and your well-being is at the base of everything. And if that's not taken care of, then you're not going to be able to have nurturing and, you know, fulfilling relationships with other people. And so I think that it's so important to, at the base, make sure that you are happy. And if you're not surrounding yourself with people that do that for you, of course we all go through rough patches with other people. That's why I'm not really trying to emphasize that. I'm not trying to say cut everyone out of your life, not at all. But if it's causing you more hurt and more pain than good, you have to make a decision on whether or not, like for me, I don't want to make this video about me, but for me it reached a point where I realized that I was so miserable and I was so hurt and in so much pain from this friendship group that I once was my best friends, and we did everything together, and we traveled, and we did so many things, when it was causing me more like anxiety and stress and like so much fear just from like going on a night out with them or whatever it may be. Like when I felt so unhappy that I felt that I would be happier on my own than to continue being friends with them, that's when I realized I needed to break things off, because I felt like I would be better off on my own. And I knew that I'd make more friends eventually, but I meant the way I was thinking is I would be better on my own than stuck in this, it was almost like than stuck in this toxic relationship. There's not much more to it than that. I just wanted to go ahead and put it out there and say that if you are unhappy in any aspect of your life, take a step back, think about it, realize what's going on before it grows and turns into like this big thing that it never needed to be. And just realize that it's okay in life. You're gonna grow up, you're gonna go through different like periods in your life where you need different things from different people, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you drift apart with someone, that they're never going to be in your life again, or that you necessarily needed them forever. It was great while you had them. Like, I acknowledge that there are certain friendships I have that ended badly and that we no longer speak, but I needed them at that point in my life, and they got me through a lot, and I'm so happy to have had them while I did have them, and I wouldn't change that for the world. But it was the right decision for me at that point in my life where I was going on a different path. We wanted different things, and I needed to make that decision, as hard as it was, to separate myself from them and be like, I do not want this, I do not need this, I'm gonna step away and do my own thing. And in doing so, I ended up being so much happier than I've ever been, and I've met even more incredible friends that have gotten me through my university years. I really would be in a different place right now if I had made a different decision, and I really believe in my heart and soul that that was the right decision for me. And as hard as it was at first, as like heartbroken as I was from losing these friendships, in the end, it made me stronger, and it made me realize what I need and what I want in my friendships and relationships, and what path I was on in life, and that was right, what was right for me, and I needed to stand up for myself. Because I think for a lot of people, if you're like me, I like for everyone to be happy, and I always try and please everyone, and a lot of the time I lose sight of myself, and I will let people walk all over me, and I will not stand up for myself. I have a really hard time speaking up, and so that's what ends up happening. It builds, it builds, it builds, until at one point I cannot take it anymore, and it kind of goes past the point of no return, which is why as I've gotten older, I really try and make an effort to stop and talk to the people that are in my life, and, you know, de-escalate something before it becomes this huge thing. I hope that helps. I know this is kind of just like a stream of consciousness that I'm just like blurting out at you guys, and this video is already really long, so I'm gonna go ahead and end there. But I really hope that this was able to help someone somehow. If you're going through something like this, just know that you're not alone. Everybody goes through this. It's part of growing up. It's a part of life. And just know that there are so many other people out there, and you will meet new amazing people, and you're not alone. And it can be, as scary as it can be to make that decision, a lot of the times it can be the best thing that you can do for yourself, to remove yourself from something that's toxic and really weighing down on you and holding you back from being the best version of yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's different, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you've been through this or if you're going through this now. I would love to reach out to you and just hear you out, and like, let's talk, you know, let's get this conversation going and help each other in the comments, because you guys are so supportive, and I would love for you guys to support each other and share your experiences. So subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know if you enjoyed, and if you have any other like topics or conversations in mind that you think that would be really cool to explore and hear my thoughts on, let me know as well. Thank you guys so much. I will see you next week. Bye!